A manufacturer recalled 14,000 pistols due to firing pin defects that caused unintended discharge incidents. Another model documented failure rates exceeding 25% during independent testing by firearms publications. These patterns repeat across 12 handgun models that demonstrated reliability problems, design flaws, or manufacturing defects sufficient to warrant avoiding purchase in 2026. Starting with number 12, we have Kel-Tec P11. Kel-Tec introduced the P11 in 1995 as a compact 9x19 mm parabellum pistol. The double-action-only striker-fired design features a 10-round magazine capacity with a 3.1-inch barrel. Overall length measures 5.6 inches, and weight without magazine is 14 ounces. The polymer frame and simplified design target concealed carry applications. Retail pricing ranges from $300 to $400 for used examples. Consumer Reports documented feeding reliability issues with certain ammunition types, particularly hollow point defensive loads. The long, heavy trigger pull measures approximately 9 to 10 pounds, affecting accuracy for shooters unaccustomed to double-action-only mechanisms. The grip texture has been criticized as insufficient for secure hold during recoil. Kel-Tec manufactures at facilities in Cocoa, Florida. The company introduced the P11 before establishing current quality control procedures, and early production examples experienced higher failure rates than later production. Parts availability remains adequate, but the P11's reputation for reliability concerns persists in user forums and reviews. At number 11, we have Walther CCP First Generation. Walther introduced the CCP Concealed Carry Pistol, First Generation in 2014. Chambered in 9x19 mm parabellum, the striker-fired pistol features an 8-round magazine capacity with a 3.54-inch barrel. Overall length measures 6.41 inches, and weight without magazine is 22.33 ounces. The gas-delayed blowback system distinguishes the design from traditional locked breech mechanisms. Retail pricing for used first-generation models ranges from $300 to $450. Consumer complaints focused on difficulty during disassembly and reassembly procedures. The gas-delayed system requires specific maintenance procedures unfamiliar to users accustomed to conventional designs. Reports documented failures to return to battery and light primer strikes during break-in periods. Walther discontinued first-generation production in 2018, introducing the CCP M2 with modifications addressing reported issues. The first-generation models experienced higher return rates to Walther service departments compared to other Walther products. Buyers seeking CCP pistols should prioritize M2 variants over first-generation examples. At number 10, we have Colt 2000 All-American. Colt introduced the 2000 All-American in 1991. Chambered in 9x19 mm parabellum, the double-action pistol features a 15-round magazine capacity with a 4.5-inch barrel. Overall length measures 7.5 inches, and weight without magazine is 29 ounces. The roller-bearing trigger system and polymer frame represented technological departures from Colt's traditional designs. Production occurred from 1991 through 1994, totaling approximately 4,000 to 5,000 units. Reliability problems plagued the design, with Consumer Reports documenting feeding failures, extraction issues, and frame cracking. The roller-bearing trigger system proved problematic, requiring frequent maintenance. Colt discontinued production after 3 years due to poor sales and persistent reliability concerns. Used examples sell for $300 to $600, but buyers face challenges obtaining replacement parts as Colt discontinued support. The 2000 represents one of Colt's least successful product launches, and collectors avoid the model except as curiosities documenting failed designs. At number 9, we have Smith & Wesson Sigma SW 9VE and SW 40VE. Smith & Wesson introduced the Sigma series in 1994. The SW 9VE chambers, 9 by 19 mm parabellum with a 17-round magazine capacity, while the SW 40VE chambers .40 and W with a 15-round capacity. Barrel length measures 4 inches, overall length is 7.25 inches, and weight without magazine is approximately 24.7 ounces. The striker-fired polymer-framed design targets law enforcement and civilian markets. Retail pricing for used examples ranges from $250 to $350. The Sigma series faced criticism for trigger quality, with the double-action-only mechanism pulling at approximately 8 to 12 pounds with significant grittiness. Consumer reports documented inconsistent accuracy and feeding reliability varying between individual pistols. Glock filed patent infringement lawsuits against Smith & Wesson in 1994, resulting in settlements that included licensing agreements. Smith & Wesson discontinued Sigma production, replacing it with the SD series featuring improved triggers and refined ergonomics. The Sigma's reputation for poor triggers and inconsistent reliability persists, affecting used market values and buyer confidence. At number 8, we have Ruger LC9 first generation. Ruger introduced the LC9 in 2011. Chambered in 9 by 19 mm parabellum, the striker-fired pistol features a 7-round magazine capacity with a 3.12-inch barrel. Overall length measures 6 inches, and weight without magazine is 17.1 ounces. The double-action-only trigger and manual safety target concealed carry markets. Retail pricing for used first-generation models ranges from $300 to $400. Consumer complaints focused on the heavy trigger pull, measuring approximately 10 to 12 pounds, and long trigger reset. The magazine disconnect safety prevents firing without a magazine inserted, a feature some users found problematic. Reports documented occasional feeding issues with certain ammunition brands. Ruger introduced the LC9S in 2014, eliminating the magazine disconnect and converting to a striker-fired mechanism with improved trigger characteristics. The company discontinued first-generation LC9 production as the LC9S gained market acceptance. Buyers seeking LC9 pistols should prioritize LC9S variants over first-generation models. At number 7, we have Mossberg MC1SC. Mossberg introduced the MC1SC in 2019. Chambered in 9 by 19 mm parabellum, the striker-fired pistol features a 6-round or 7-round magazine capacity with a 3.4-inch barrel. Overall length measures 6.25 inches, and weight without magazine is 19 ounces. The design targets concealed carry applications with aggressive grip texturing and flat trigger face. Retail pricing ranges from $350 to $450. Consumer reports documented trigger issues including inconsistent pull weights and occasional trigger failures to reset. Some users reported difficulty achieving acceptable accuracy due to trigger characteristics. The aggressive grip texture, while providing secure hold, caused discomfort during extended shooting sessions for some users. Mossberg manufactures primarily shotguns and rifles, with the MC1SC representing the company's entry into semi-automatic pistol markets. The limited aftermarket support compared to established pistol manufacturers affects parts and accessory availability. Independent testing by firearms publications yielded mixed results regarding reliability and accuracy. At number 6, we have High Point CF380. High Point introduced the CF380, chambered in .380 ACP. The blowback-operated pistol features an 8-round magazine capacity with a 3.5-inch barrel. Overall length measures 6.72 inches, and weight without magazine is 29 ounces. The zinc alloy slide and polymer frame construction keeps retail pricing between $150 and $200, positioning the CF380 as an extremely budget-oriented option. The substantial weight for a .380A CP pistol reduces felt recoil, but creates challenges for concealed carry. Consumer Reports documented feeding reliability issues with certain ammunition brands, particularly hollow-point defensive loads. The heavy trigger pull and basic sights limit accuracy potential. High-point manufactures at facilities in Ohio and offers lifetime warranties, but the pistol's reputation for inconsistent reliability and crude finish affects market perception. The CF380 serves budget-conscious buyers, but lacks refinement expected in higher-priced alternatives. Independent testing documented failure rates higher than competing designs from established manufacturers. At number 5, we have SCCY CPX1. SCCY introduced the CPX1, chambered in 9 by 19 mm parabellum. The double-action-only striker-fired pistol features a 10-round magazine capacity with a 3.1-inch barrel. Overall length measures 6 inches, and weight without magazine is 15 ounces. The manual safety distinguishes the CPX1 from the CPX2 variant, lacking external safety. Retail pricing ranges from $250 to $300, positioning the CPX1 among the most affordable 9mm pistols available from established manufacturers. Consumer Reports documented heavy trigger pulls measuring approximately 9 to 12 pounds with significant creep and grittiness. The long trigger travel and inconsistent breakpoint affect accuracy, particularly for shooters unaccustomed to double-action-only mechanisms. The trigger reset extends approximately half an inch, requiring substantial finger movement between shots and slowing follow-up accuracy. Feeding reliability varies between individual pistols, with some users reporting flawless function and others experiencing frequent malfunctions. Online forums document experiences ranging from 0 malfunctions across thousands of rounds to multiple failures within the first 100 rounds. The inconsistency suggests quality control variations during manufacturing. Hollow-point defensive ammunition reliability varies, with some brands feeding reliably while others cause jams. The slide serrations provide minimal purchase for manipulation, particularly with wet or sweaty hands. The shallow serrations measure approximately 0.04 inches deep, compared to 0.08 to 0.12 inches on competing designs. SCCY manufactures at facilities in Daytona Beach, Florida, and offers lifetime warranties transferable to subsequent owners. Warranty repairs require shipping pistols to Florida facilities with turnaround times reportedly ranging from 2 weeks to 2 months. At number 4, we have Kimber Solo Carry. Kimber introduced the Solo Carry in 2011. Chambered in 9 by 19 mm parabellum, the single-action pistol features a 6-round magazine capacity with a 2.7-inch barrel. Overall length measures 5.5 inches, and weight without magazine is 17 ounces. The aluminum frame and stainless steel slide provide compact dimensions suitable for deep concealment carry. Width measures 0.9 inches, among the narrowest 9mm pistols available at introduction. Retail pricing ranges from $600 to $800 for used examples. The Solo experienced significant reliability problems during initial production. Feeding failures occurred with various ammunition types, with the pistol demonstrating sensitivity to bullet profiles. Extraction issues manifested as failures to eject spent cases, requiring manual clearing. Kimber issued a recall affecting pistols manufactured before February 2012, offering retrofits addressing feeding and extraction issues. Consumer complaints documented continued reliability concerns even after recall retrofits. The recoil spring requires frequent replacement, reportedly every 200 to 400 rounds, creating maintenance burdens uncommon in competing designs. Most service pistols require recoil spring replacement every 3,000 to 5,000 rounds. Replacement springs cost approximately $15 to $25, creating ongoing expenses. The aluminum frame limits service life compared to steel-framed alternatives. Users reported frame cracking after fewer than 2,000 rounds in some cases. Kimber discontinued production approximately 2016 or 2017. Specialized parts including extractors, firing pins, and recoil spring assemblies face uncertain long-term availability. At number 3, we have Remington R51 First Generation. Remington introduced the R51 First Generation in 2014. Chambered in 9 by 19 mm parabellum, the pistol features a 7-round magazine capacity with a 3.4-inch barrel. Overall length measures 6.6 inches and weight without magazine is 22 ounces. The design revived elements from the 1918 Remington Model 51, including the Pedersen hesitation lock system. Retail pricing at introduction was approximately $400. The first generation R51 experienced catastrophic reliability failures. Reports documented feeding malfunctions, extraction failures, and safety concerns, including uncommanded discharges. Safety concerns proved most troubling, with documented incidents of pistols firing when safeties were disengaged or during slide manipulation. Reports documented slides separating from frames during firing sequences. Firearms publications documented failure rates exceeding 50% during testing protocols. One publication documented 23 malfunctions during a 50-round test, a 46% failure rate. Remington suspended production in 2015, recalled all first-generation pistols, and offered full refunds or exchanges for second-generation models when production resumed in 2017. The recall affected approximately 7,700 pistols manufactured from March 2014 through January 2015. The first-generation R51 represents one of the most problematic modern pistol launches. Any remaining first-generation examples should be returned to Remington for exchange or refund rather than purchased on used markets. At number 2, we have Sig Sauer P250 DAO version. Sig Sauer introduced the P250 in 2007, chambered in 9 by 19 mm parabellum, .357 SIG, .40 S&W, and .45 ACP. The modular pistol features magazine capacities from 9 to 17 rounds depending on caliber and configuration. The serialized fire control unit can be swapped between grip modules of different sizes and calibers. Retail pricing for used examples ranges from $350 to $500. The long, heavy, double-action-only trigger pull, measuring approximately 8 to 10 pounds, affected accuracy and shooter acceptance. The trigger travels approximately 0.5 inches before braking, substantially longer than striker-fired competitors, averaging 0.3 to 0.4 inches. The P250 achieved limited commercial success despite Sig Sauer's established reputation. Law enforcement agencies largely rejected the design in favor of striker-fired alternatives. Sig Sauer introduced the P320 striker-fired pistol in 2014, which achieved substantially greater commercial and law enforcement success. The P320 won the U.S. military's modular handgun system competition in 2017, becoming the M17 and M18 service pistols. SIG discontinued P250 production as the P320 captured market share, with production apparently ceasing around 2018 or 2019. Parts availability remains adequate currently, but Sig Sauer's focus on P320 production raises questions about long-term P250 support. Finally, at number 1 we have Taurus Spectrum. Taurus introduced the Spectrum in 2017. Chambered in .380 CP, the striker-fired pistol features a 6-round or 7-round magazine capacity with a 2.8-inch barrel. The 6-round magazine sits flush with the grip, while the 7-round extended magazine provides additional grip purchase. Overall length measures 5.4 inches and weight without magazine is 10 ounces. The extremely lightweight positions the Spectrum among the lightest .380 ACP pistols available, facilitating pocket carry and deep concealment. The soft-touch polymer panels in various colors distinguish the design aesthetically. Taurus offered the Spectrum in multiple frame colors including black, white, gray, and various bright colors targeting female buyers and those seeking personalized firearms. The color options represented Taurus's attempt to differentiate the Spectrum from competing .380 pistols that typically feature only black or earth tone finishes. Retail pricing ranges from $200 to $300, with some retailers selling remaining inventory at $150 to $200 to clear discontinued stock. Consumer Reports documented numerous reliability problems, including failures to feed, failures to eject, and light primer strikes. The feeding failures manifested as rounds failing to chamber from magazines, with cartridges hanging at various points during the feeding cycle. Users reported the pistol demonstrated sensitivity to ammunition brands, with reliability varying substantially between manufacturers. Some defensive hollow point loads experienced failure rates exceeding 20%, unacceptable for carry pistols where reliability is paramount. Failures to eject appeared as spent cases remaining partially in ejection ports or extracting but failing to clear pistols. Light primer strikes prevented ignition of properly manufactured ammunition, with users reporting approximately 2 to 5% of rounds failing to fire during testing. The striker spring apparently lacked sufficient force to consistently ignite primers, particularly with harder primer compounds used by certain manufacturers. The extremely lightweight construction creates substantial felt recoil for a .380 ACP pistol, affecting controllability and follow-up shot accuracy. The 10-ounce weight provides minimal mass to absorb recoil forces, creating sharp snapback that many shooters found uncomfortable. The magazine release and slide stop proved difficult to manipulate for users with larger hands. The magazine release button sits flush with the frame, requiring significant pressure to activate. Sights are minimal fixed configurations, limiting accuracy potential. The rear sight notch measures approximately 0.1 inches wide, creating an extremely tight sight picture. Taurus discontinued Spectrum production after limited market success, with production apparently ceasing around 2020 or 2021. The Spectrum's failure in the marketplace occurred despite Taurus's marketing efforts, emphasizing color options and compact dimensions. Buyers seeking .380 ACP pistols should consider established alternatives from Ruger, Smith & Wesson, or Glock, rather than the Spectrum. The Ruger LCP2 provides similar dimensions with superior reliability at comparable pricing. The Smith & Wesson M&P Bodyguard 380 offers proven performance. These 12 handguns demonstrate how design flaws, manufacturing defects, and reliability problems create models that buyers should avoid regardless of attractive pricing or marketing claims.